Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm playing Eldritch Horror. And it's looking pretty good. This is just the second video, and there is enough time for things to go wrong. But we're fighting against Shoot'em'ell, the new guy from the Cities in Ruin expansion. And as I said, I think I had a pretty good start, and it was even better than I first thought it was. But some of you left comments and reminded me on things that I've forgotten. So first of all, Rex Murphy, he starts with an additional improvement of his abilities. So I decided to give him an additional influence, which allows me from now on to take as an action up to a value of 4 items from the reserve. So basically, for example, 2 of these 2 items, and that's pretty cool. Another thing is the encounter that Diana Stanley actually had allowed her, in addition to getting a spell that was that Mind's Eye spell, to gain a random magical asset. And there I was terribly lucky. I got the Holy Spear, gained +4 strength during combat encounters. That is insane. The only problem is, she already has now the Wither, so I probably will give this to somebody else. But still, it's very, very good. And actually, I thought there was a third one. Yeah, exactly. He also somewhere improved. No, wait a minute, that was not the one. Here, Joe Diamond, yeah, he improved one of his conditions, and I was allowed to improve another condition, and I forgot that too. Now, I did that, and when I improved my lore condition, I could have improved another one, and I improved my strength. So yeah, I'm definitely doing even better than I first thought. I decided to ignore this rumor here with the TikTok man. The reason is to go down there with a good fighter. My best fighter at the moment is Joe Diamond. He's an Arkham. To get him to the Outback will take me 3 turns. Buenos Aires, down here, the first one, then Sydney, and then another one. And then the fight against these guys will take me, they have life points equal to 6. So I think they will take me an additional 2 or 3 turns. So it would take me about 6 turns probably to kill these guys. And first of all, it's questionable that the rumor will remain as long on the board. Second of all, 6 turns without with 1 less investigator, basically, that's a lot. So I decided to ignore it, and that shouldn't be so bad, because then they will simply lose all the clues. Each investigator will lose all the clues, and all the clues on the board to go away. But I can leave the news report here in this reserve. In the reserve, and then if this rumor is triggered, I can buy the news report, and immediately 3 new clues will be spawned. So I guess it might not be that terrible then. Of course I have to make it in a way clever that I spend all the clues that I have and so on, but the losses might not be that bad. Okay, now I guess I'm gonna continue now with the next action. With the next action phase. Rex Murphy was delayed in San Francisco, so he stands simply up. Leo Anderson, well, he's sitting here in Cape Town, and I want to end up with him here. But first, I want to try to get the Chief Inspector, and this is actually an automatic. You may add 1 success to your test result when resolving an influence test during an acquire assets action. That is the ability I get from Etienne Laurent. And if I pass, this is my personal action, test influence. That's interesting. Actually, this is not an acquire assets action. I see. Yeah, that's a difference. This is not the same. This is a personal action here. So I cannot combine these. That's kind of interesting. You know what? I've got I got 3 dice here. So I think I wanna risk a standard action, which gives me get an additional die. So I'm gonna do an acquire asset action. If I'm lucky, I might get the carbine rifle. And I hope it's pretty safe that I can get the Chief Inspector. And I fucked up completely. Why did it? Actually, he shouldn't have. No, that's not true. I should only have given him 3 dice, and then I could add 1 success. But anyway, I didn't make it. Oh, that was pretty bad. And then we're gonna simply move here, and that's it. Joe Diamond. Yeah, so Joe, he will simply move here to London, and then he does a rest action. And because of the King James Bible, I will get 2 sanity. Diane, what is she gonna do? Oh yeah, she's got that amazing artifact here. The Mask of Sthenlas. You may spend 1 improvement or impairment token to improve 1 skill of your choice or gain 1 talent condition. This is just completely amazing. So actually I got 3 impairment tokens here. So I guess I'm gonna remove this one and improve my lore even more. Well, this is completely insane. The fact that we all start with these impairment tokens because of these drastic measures makes this item absolutely powerful. And then I'm also going to move to London to make sure we get this clue token there. And that's it. So now we come to the encounter phase and we start with Rex Murphy. And yeah, maybe we can improve observation even more. Why not? So, no, that's, yeah, it's San Francisco, exactly. You hear of a powerful wizard in Chinatown named Lang Fu who will help you if you can afford his fee. So we might actually have seen that already. So we roll 5 dice, right? That's so, yeah. Yeah, we roll 5 dice, but, oops, we got to take the cursed dice. Wow, cool, we made it. If you pass, he uses his sorcery to transform you. Improve 1 skill of your choice. Yeah, exactly, we already had that. Usually every 3... Whenever there are 3 cards on a discard pile here, I shuffle them back into the deck. Okay, so I can now improve a skill. Which one should that be? I could improve lore. Yeah, I think I will improve lore. Oh, he's actually pretty good right now. So Leo, and he wants to get that clue token because then we can finally start to solve the mystery here. So let's see what we got. In the wilderness, you come across a nest of giant eggs. Gain this clue. As you near the eggs, you feel yourself lose control of your body. Okay, so it's a mind test. We're pretty good in mind. We have a 4 there. So, yeah. And we are on a wilderness space, so that gives me an additional die. So we can roll 5 dice. Oh shit, but we were successful. If you pass, you break free of the control, gain 1 talent condition. Fabulous. Okay, so we ended up with a quick study condition. Once per round, when you gain this card or another talent condition, you may gain 1 additional talent condition. If you do, flip this card. Well, that's cool. So I guess I can simply get another one right away. Makes sense to me. So I always draw from the bottom because these are kind of face up here. Okay, that means studious. Test will -1. If you pass, improve 1 skill of your choice, then flip this card. Wow, that's pretty awesome. So now I have to flip this card. You learn through obsessive study, sometimes foregoing food and sleep in your scholarly pursuits. You may spend 1 health to flip this card. If you do not spend the health, resolve the effect of your choice. Discard 1 other talent condition, then flip this card or discard this card. Yeah, that's interesting. I think actually I can afford to lose 1 more health. I won't do that forever, but I think I can do that 1 more time. Okay. Cool. And yeah, of course, and then we gain this clue, and the cool thing is we can simply spend it now. After an investigator resolves a research encounter, he may spend 1 clue he gained from that encounter and place that clue on this card. There we go. And now Joe Diamond trying to get the clue in London. So let's see what we get. That's a city. The buildings around you rattle and shake. You attune your mind with the source of the tremors. The lady would have been better there, but we got to do a lore test with 2 dice. And we also made this. Wow, I'm doing really good today. If you pass, you glimpse the mind of a Chthonian. Gain this clue and 1 ritual spell. Fantastic. And we found the conjuration. Test lore +1. If you pass, you may gain 1 item or trinket asset from the reserve with value equal to or less than your test result. Then flip this card. Okay. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give that to Diana on the same space, so we can do that in the next turn. And of course we get the clue, which means we can place that now also here. Very good. Diana, well, she's going to have an encounter in London. You search for the arcane symbols that permeate the city's architecture. Observation. Not that great in observation, just got a 2 there. I didn't make that. If you fail, the city's layout propels you into realms beyond. Gain a lost in time and space condition. That sucks, because that also means I cannot deal, or I cannot trade with her in the next turn, I guess. Shit. Okay, there we are, lost in time and space. Remove your investigator token from the game board. You are unaffected by other game effects and cannot move or perform actions. Instead of resolving an encounter, flip this card. Okay. So that's it. Now we're going to see the Mythos Face. And this is another rumor. First we got to spawn clue tokens. 2 new clue tokens from the cup. We got a 17 here, which is over there. And a 20, which is right here. Okay. Oh, excuse me. So, and yeah, there we are. Return of the Ancient Ones. Wow, that sounds very bad. After a sudden burst of flying debris, you are confronted by a terrifying figure. It is a stark reminder that dark forces in this world are working tirelessly to annihilate you. When an investigator on space 19 defeats a monster, he may spend 1 clue to place that monster on this card. When the total toughness of monsters on this card is equal to or greater than the number of investigators solve this rumor. If this thing is triggered, it says spawn 1 monster on space 19. Then if there are 4 or more monsters on space 19, advance doom to 0 and solve this rumor. Wow. Okay, that is definitely something we cannot ignore. So, let's start the next turn. I think we can Rex Murphy. Well, how to tell? Yeah, I think Rex Murphy wants to go first again. So, as an action, I guess he takes the Silver Twilight Ritual. When you gain this card, immediately retreat Doom by 1, then discard this card. Okay. Very good. And we draw a new one. Genealogy research. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm gonna get myself a ship ticket here. That's it for X Murphy. Leo Anderson. Well, he wants to go to the pyramids. Is there anything else he can do? Could try to get that ally here, the chief inspector. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. So he tests influence with 3 dice. And we need only 1 success to get that guy. And shit. Again, we didn't make it. So then we're going to move here to the pyramids, and maybe we are more lucky in the next turn then. Shit, Joe cannot get to Istanbul in this turn. That won't be that's not possible because he cannot get a train ticket there. So I'm really thinking about going to Rome and try this tough one, but yeah, basically I nearly have to, otherwise I'll never get there. So yeah, I'm gonna go to Rome and try to do one of these new dangerous encounters and see what that brings. Well, finally, Diana, well, she can do anything. She'll have an encounter in Lost in Time and Space. Okay, so Rex, he's still in San Francisco, and well, okay, I'm actually considering drawing one of these cards. I want to do that. Corrupt members of the police force pressure you for a bribe. You speak to some people you know to take care of the problem. An influence check with 5 dice. And I was lucky again. Well, okay, I mean, with 5 dice, it is possible to roll a 6. If you pass, the police are apologetic and share their leads with you. Spawn 1 clue. That's nice. So we get a clue at number 8, which is there. Okay. Next is Leo in the pyramids, and he does now another research. In the wilderness, you watch in horror as a fellow traveler is swallowed up by the earth. You dig frantically with your hands to save him. You got to do a strength test there, and that is not good. We have a hired muscle, so it's not that bad. So we can use 3 dice. And in addition, we are in the wilderness, which gives me another die. Okay. And we can also re-roll a die. Let's hope for the best here. And yeah, we made it. If you pass, you uncover him as well as a network of tunnels. Gain this clue. Cool. So that means we have now a 3rd clue here, just 1 more, and the first mystery is solved. Joe. And I'm a little afraid of what awaits us there in the ruins of Rome. Let's find out. Hiding in the ruins of a store, you hear the sniffing and growling of some enormous creature just outside. As the sounds grow louder, you are certain it has caught your scent. The beast howls, signaling to others, and you struggle to resist blind panic. Okay, that's a mind test. We've got 3 here. That's not so great. And we didn't do that. So panic gets us. You run as fast as you can through the night, blindly stumbling over the uneven terrain as you make your escape. So now it's an observation test, also with only 3 dice. At least we do this. Okay, that was good. No consequences here, so we made it. Oops. And then it's Diana. We gotta flip this card. And we found a guide from the void. The silhouette of a man towers before you, standing behind a veil of shimmering stars. You hear the being's voice in your mind, offering an escape from this emptiness. You may gain a Dark Pact condition to place your investigator token on a space of your choice. If you do not gain the condition, spawn 1 gate, place your investigator token on that place, and advance the omen by 1. Well, considering that she is my top character, I'm not gonna do that Dark Pact. I'm gonna spawn a gate. In San Francisco, well, maybe that's not so bad. We are together with the other guy. And then we have to, that's important now, let's see what kind of monster we get. A vampire. Ooh, wow. That's not so good. Omen advances by 1 space, but that is still okay. Okay, so that's the end of the encounter phase then. And another Mythos Face. First, the omen moves on, and now we have 1 matching gate here in Shanghai, and that means the Mythos track, or the Doom track, also moves on. That was blue, wasn't it? No, it's green actually. Okay. Then we have this trigger symbol. So we start now with the monsters. And there we have these 2, and they both suck. So on a 1 or 2, Doom is advanced another space, and that is not the case here. And this guy moves to the nearest space containing a gate. Well, I assume it moves away from that one and moves here instead. Which is not a good thing. Okay, let's see. No more monsters. The Ancient One. Yeah, that one sucks because it simply means we will lose 2 health and or sanity. So yeah, I'm gonna lose 2 sanity here. Well, maybe I'm gonna do it that way. And well, I'm gonna do that off camera. So after the Ancient One, we have to go on with the Mythos cards. So we have to discard one of these Eldritch tokens here. And we have to spawn a monster here on space 19. So hope it's not too bad. Wow, that's a Dark Young. That's definitely not good. Oh, fuck. That's a very bad one. Shit. Whew. And let's see. What else can we do? Yeah, we have to activate these. So the Mind's Eye, it means we have to check lore with 6 dice. And we have 3 successes once again. That's very good because that gives me, I think, another spell. Your thoughts have turned into an extra dimensional source of power. Gain 1 spell. And wait a second, wasn't there something that said if I get a spell or something? No. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get another spell, which is very good. So let's draw from the bottom again. And that is the Forced Learning. Once per round, when you improve a skill, improve that skill again. Wow, okay, very good. This is insane. I mean, especially with the mask. This is completely going crazy now. It feels like a Euro game where you have this engine building going on. This is just crazy. So the Shroud of Shadow. Test lore -1. So we got 5 dice here. And we got 2 successes. The shadows cloak you and keep you hidden from the eyes of the Ancient One. No additional effect. Nice. Yeah, she's really great. And then we have to do the cursed condition here. So we want a 4, 5, or 6, which we don't have. Okay, that's it then, I guess. Yeah. And we continue here. We got to spawn a gate. In London. There we are. And we get a skeleton. Shit. And then we have Haunting Nightmares. You wake up in mid-scream and your heart is racing. What little you can remember of your nightmare was so visceral and horrific that you dread falling back asleep. Each investigator loses 2 sanity and gains a madness condition unless he spends 1 clue. Holy shit. That is a lot. Okay, I mean, he can spend a clue, and he's going to do that. What are the clue tokens over there? The others will lose the sanity, I guess. Now that was pretty brutal. Well, actually, I forgot to grab the madness conditions. These here. So we start with her. She gets the amnesia. When you perform a rest action, you might want to die. Oh yeah, we'll see what happens then if it is triggered. He gets the paranoia. And he gets the hallucinations. Now the thing is, we have to do rest actions now anyway, because we're all in a pretty bad mental state. Especially Joe Diamond, he's down to a single sanity, and that is not good at all. So that was not a good card. Okay, let's continue. Okay, Rex Murphy. So he takes the carbine rifle, uses his action. That's +5 during a combat encounter. And in addition, he can take the genealogy research. When you defeat a monster with toughness 2 or more during a combat encounter, you may examine the creature's remains. If you pass, gain 2 clues and discard this card. Okay. That brings 2 new assets into the reserve. And we got the painkillers and a revolver. And then he spends his boat ticket and he moves to Tokyo. The idea is to get rid of some of these monsters, especially these suckers up here. Leo. So he is still at the pyramids here. And yeah, I guess he wants to rest. Maybe he's lucky and gets rid of his madness condition. So we need a 5 or 6 there. And we didn't make that. In addition, I'm going to move to Istanbul. Maybe I can get the clue in the next turn. Joe Diamond, he also has to rest. He also rolls for the hallucinations. And again, he didn't do that. But at least he gets back 2 sanity. And 1 health. And then he also moves to Istanbul. They definitely want to solve this mystery. I mean, theoretically, I could go back to London. It is a little risky, but it definitely would be cool to close that gate. So I might consider that. I think I want to do that. I think I'm going to go to London, and maybe I'm lucky and Leo can do the mystery there on its own. It's a little risky. He's not the best, but we'll find out. Maybe he can do it anyway. Gates are maybe more important here. Diana. Yeah, I want to let her rest too, I guess. So we can maybe get rid of the amnesia. And again, no success here. That's a shame. And then I'm gonna use my action here. So I can spend one improvement or impairment token. Yeah, I guess I want to get rid of this one and improve my strength. Okay. So, and this is already the end. So we have now our encounter phase. So, our friend Rex in Tokyo. You may become delayed to explore some submerged pyramids off the coast of Okinawa. If you do, you discover ancient writing that claims to harm one's enemies. One monster of your choice on any space loses 3 health. Well, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I mean, that is pretty awesome. I'm considering, I mean, they're pretty bad. Both of them are pretty bad. But on the other hand, it can be easier to kill these guys because this is not a special monster. So I think I want to try to destroy the doppelganger here. And I want to give him 3 wounds. And I'm delayed, of course, which isn't that great, but might be worth it. So Leo, if he's doing good, he might be able to solve the mystery there in Istanbul. A man covered in piercings and tattoos attacks you while you quietly eat a warm meal in a local diner. A cultist monster ambushes you. If you pass the strength test, well, let's do that. What about these guys? Okay, we have a strength of -1 there, which isn't good at all. So it seems like we only have 2 dice, right? We got 2 plus 1 for the hired muscle. -1 brings us down to 2 again. Yeah, well, gotta be lucky here. Yeah, easy, easy. If you pass the strength test, he drops his weapon and flees into the night. Gain this clue and 1 random weapon asset from the deck. Fantastic! So, first of all, that means we managed to solve the mystery. Second of all, we gotta draw a weapon. Boy. The blunderbuss. When resolving a combat encounter, you may gain +2. If you do each 6 you roll when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter counts as 2 successes, and each one negates 1 success. Nah. Okay, I guess it's not too bad. It's a pretty risky thing, but we don't have a weapon yet. On the other hand, we got the ally. It's not so great, actually. Okay, now I'm not absolutely sure when the mystery is solved. Let's take a look in the rules here. Mystery, blop blop blop. Discard all tokens, then draw a new mystery. Seems to happen right away, I guess. Yeah, okay. So, number 1. Second one is the World Render. A Chthonian of immeasurable power has emerged in the desert of northern Africa. Near continuous earthquakes repel those who would face it, and soon the entire region will be reduced to ash and rubble. Holy shit. When this card enters play, spawn the World Render epic monster on the pyramids. If an investigator would gain an artifact, he may gain the Vach Virai chant artifact instead. At the end of the Mythos Face, if the World Render epic monster has been defeated, solve this mystery. Okay, now let's see that we find this guy. Now, it's kind of a shame if we could have... that we were not allowed to place a 3 damage on him. If we would have done that one turn later... Actually, if the encounter would have been just a little later, if just the player order would be a little bit later... Yeah, if Leo would be before Rex instead the other way around, we could have placed the first 3 here, but okay. So, the World Render, there he is. He's got a physical resistance, which is obviously not a good thing. Luckily we got the Holy Spear, the Wither, so we're still pretty good with that. Roll 1 die on a 1 or 2 advanced doom by 1. Toughness is equal to Investigators plus 2. That means this guy has a toughness of 6 and is really dangerous. Wow. -1 will, 3 damage, -3 and 4 stamina losses. So this is indeed very, very bad. So I'm considering checking out what this special item is we can't gain. I'm not sure. Maybe I should leave it as a surprise. But it might be worth it to check that. I think he might go there to Tunguska and check out this item. Maybe he can make that. Okay, I mean that's not going to be easy now. But anyway, it's Joe Diamond, and he wants to close the gate, but before he can do that, he has to fight a skeleton. So, let's see what we have. First we got to do a will test. We got a will of 3, and we can reroll a die because of the King James Bible. And yeah, we were successful with 2 successes here, so no problems. Now let's see, we have 4 strength plus 3 and an additional die. So basically that means we got 8 dice. I mean, that is a lot. And that was good. We got 2 successes. Oh shit, we forgot to subtract 2. Nah, okay, I gotta roll again. So we gotta subtract 2 here, so we end up with 6 dice. Let's see if we're still doing that good. And yes, actually we're doing better. We got 3 successes this time. That means that we managed to kill the skeleton. And that means that we're now allowed to attempt to close this gate. So let's see. Yugoth. You find a dead Migo that was carrying a large container of the strange metal known as Tokkel. Although valuable, the substance is also extremely heavy, and the container proves difficult to move. So we got to pass a strength test here, -1, meaning we have 3 dice. Come on. Yes, very good. You hope to trade the Tokkel to the Migo in exchange for their help. Okay, we got to do now an influence test, and that's not that easy. We only have 2 dice. So let's hope for the best. Oh, actually, that sucks. We only have 1 die, because this is a -1. Fuck. Ah, there we go. A6. If you pass, the strange winged crustaceans agree and return you home. Close this gate. This is looking good. Very, very good. The gate is closed. Okay. And then it's finally Diana Stanley. And she's sitting in San Francisco with 2 monsters. But here's the thing. I mean, she can use her Shroud of Shadow. During the encounter phase, you may choose an encounter as if there are no monsters on your space. So that's what she does. She tries, of course, also to close the gate there. Great Hall of Celiano. You are stunned to see a familiar face. Reading through tomes of dark sorcery, you try to catch a glimpse of what he's reading without alerting him to your presence. So that is an observation -1 test. Yeah, that's not so fantastic. We only have a 3 in observation. But still, 2 dice, maybe we can make it. And yes, no problems there at all. You learn what he's been reading and realize that he has opened a portal between worlds. Close this gate. This is just great. So this is also gone. Afterward, you examine the book that he was reading. Lore. Well, that should not be a problem. We got 6 lore, which is insane. And actually, again, I forgot, last time already I forgot that, to use my... What? Where are the ancient manuscripts? Shit. Did they fall down? Yeah, they actually did. There they are. I always forget these. Gain +1 die. 1 lore when resolving spell effects. I always forget that. But okay, that's not the case right now. So we have 6 dice here for the lore test. And yeah, we easily made that too, with 2 successes. If you pass, gain 1 clue or 1 spell. Yeah, that's now... I guess I prefer again the spell. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a spell, I guess. So, let's see. Summon Byakhee. Test lore. If you pass, move to a space of your choice within 2 spaces. Well, that's cool. I absolutely love that character. She's a real powerful magician right now. Okay. That's the end of the encounter phase now. And I think overall it was a good encounter phase. We managed to get rid of the mystery. We managed to close 2 gates. I guess we could say it was basically perfect. The only bad thing is this world render, That's a tough guy. That really is a tough guy. There is no doubt about that. Yeah. So, now we come to the Mythos Face. Okay, so that's a bad one. The tentacles indicate the worst here. So first of all, this thing goes on, but luckily no effect there. We have a monster search. That means that we have to spawn 2 monsters here. So we have a buyer key and a ghoul. Okay, I mean, these suckers are not too bad. They're okay. I just want to check the monster search thing, that I don't play that wrong. Resolve a monster search on each space containing a gate that corresponds to the current omen. Oh, look at that. I did that wrong. Actually, we have to spawn a new gate instead. In the Amazon. Well, oops, and that is a cultist, which is bad. Because, again, if they are triggered on a roll of 1 or 2, advance doom by 1. Now we have 3 of these, actually we have 4 of these suckers on the board right now. The cultist, nearly every monster on the board, except for these guys. No, yeah, there are a few others here, but a lot of these monsters, 4 of these monsters will advance the doom track if they are triggered. That is definitely bad, and we got to do something against that. There is no doubt. So just, she could try to do it maybe. Okay, we'll find out. So what next? When I realized something, she can reduce the horror of monsters to 1. That can be very useful if she fights that guy. Pretty cool. Okay. Oh yeah, we got to continue here. We will then spawn clue tokens. 2 of them, I guess. And we get a clue token at space 14. Which is somewhere, I guess. Boy, wait a second. It should be here on the... Wow, it's up here. Okay. And then another one in Buenos Aires. Okay. And then we come to the card, Torn Asunder. Strange forces stretch you in all directions. The portals between worlds are pulling reality apart, and you feel these unearthly energies coming from all corners of the globe. Shit. Holy moly. Each investigator loses health equal to the number of gates on the game board that correspond to the current omen. Wow, I think we are lucky here. Yes, we are indeed. No damage done here. If there are no gates that correspond to the current omen, advance the omen by 1. Yeah, okay, but that could have been really worse. That's okay. I can live with that. That's good. So yeah, no big deal here. Lucky me. Okay. So, let's see. I guess it's time to load this up now. And I guess we're also... I mean, the Omen is now... the Doom is just... basically just move one step. And... we already solved our first mystery. So I guess that's definitely good. She's in a fantastic shape. And some others are also doing fine. The only thing, there are two things that kind of make me worry. The first thing is this guy in general. He seems to be very strong. The other one is that there are so many of these Roller 1 or 2 and Advanced Doom 1 space monsters on the board. So we should really get rid of some of them. Okay. So, hope to see you on the next video or on lonesomedemo.com. Bye.